SBP's journey is nothing short of amazing. At the same time, ours is a journey that is far from over. We remain committed to deepening the connection between Friends Academy and the Sally Borden Program. For example, in renovating the middle school this summer, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Sally Borden classrooms will finally be connected to their grade level peers, just as the lower school renovation did this some 13 years ago for students in grades 3 through 5. We also want to ensure that students and faculty in the Sally Borden program will continue to have access to the best resources, practices, and tools. We learn more about how our brains work all the time, and therefore we must remain nimble, curious, and open in the interest of providing the best possible learning environment for students. In much the same way that the Sally Borden program is in the process of becoming, so too are all of us. Every day, we have some successful moments. Every day, in the most generous of terms, some unsuccessful moments. And every day, we have moments somewhere in between those two. We're fortunate, however, to be in a community where this reality is both welcome and understood, where we can cheer for each other when we finally triumph over a tricky concept, where we see the best in one another, and where we can tap into the best in one another to fuel our individual and collective willingness to get up and to try again. This morning is very much a celebration of becoming, of triumphs, of defeats, and of everything in between. And this is exactly what makes this event one of my favorite ones of the year. So families and friends, thank you for being here with us this morning to honor the journeys of your students. Students, thank you for all of your hard work and your commitment to the process of learning. And faculty and staff, thank you for seeing the best in your charges and for creating an environment where this magic can happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all. We are here to celebrate the achievements of the amazing students in the Sally Borden program. The remarks shared by their teachers this morning will highlight the tremendous growth they have made both academically and personally. Before we begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, the families, for sharing your children with us. Please know that working with them is truly a gift, and we are honored to be on this journey with them. So thank you, families, for your support and partnership. I would also like to extend my deepest gratitude to our Sally Borden faculty. They are tireless educators who pour their heart into their work. Faculty, thank you for your dedication and your teamwork this year. I'd like you to stand when I announce your name. Audience members, I ask that you hold your applause until the end. Our learning specialists are Elaine Kelly, who could not be here today, Kathleen Cooper, Tisha McGonigal, Megan O'Brien. Our Sally Borden program teachers include Megan Brillon, Cassidy Sestodio, Jennifer Costa, Carla Landreth, Jody Lawless, Jonathan Mitchell, and Lauren Wheaton. A round of applause for our faculty. Thank you so much. So, to celebrate this special occasion and acknowledge the wonderful work accomplished here, I've written a poem that I'd like to share with you now. As the school year comes to an end, let's reflect on the growth in this poem I penned. This year, we celebrated SBP's 15th anniversary, and students completed challenges enthusiastically. 15 years of appreciating who students are, 15 years of encouraging and pushing them far, 15 years of knowing there are different ways to learn, 15 years of unlocking the knowledge they yearn. Of course, we couldn't do it without our esteemed faculty, who make sure to combine learning with lots of glee. Our successes were coupled with occasional mistakes. That's how learning happens. We know what it takes. But when a mistake happened, students got back up. They dug deep, leaned on each other, and didn't give up. Whether it's being with peers, doing math, or reading, we all know the discomfort that growth may bring. We work to be kind and forgive each other if we've done wrong. We all know that learning is a journey and one that is lifelong. In the end, I am so proud of these kids and all they have done. It's time for them to enjoy well-deserved summer fun. At this point, I've certainly said enough. I think you're ready to get to the good stuff. Let's kick it off with some folks who are here to share the accomplishments of the students and how they got there. So thank you, students, for another wonderful year, and thank you to the families for being here. We will now begin the academic recognition portion of the program. Please welcome Kathleen Cooper to the stage as she delivers remarks about our students in the Bridge program.
Vivian and Mateo, will you please stand? This year I had the pleasure of hosting two amazing Bridge students. Together your strengths are numerous. Individually you complemented and supported each other for the long term. Through your love of story writing and illustration, you managed to produce enough text and artwork to cover the walls of my room. With stamina and the ability to stay on task that kept yours truly on her toes and smiling, you managed to focus on each lesson until it was carefully completed. You worked as a team always, even as you were gently competing, with good-natured smiles that said, "You are my friend above all." This group of two has displayed record-breaking enthusiasm. Vivian, Mateo, welcome to the Sally Borden Program. Your efforts and buoyancy will be much appreciated through the coming years.
Thank you to everyone who is here today to support our students. They've had a wonderful year, worked very hard, and made tremendous growth. Without the support and partnerships and collaboration from your families, this would not be possible. Thank you for all that you do for our students. An impressive group of students stand before you today. This class exemplifies progress across all areas, socially, emotionally, academically, and beyond. When reflecting on this year and the special group of students, two major areas of growth shine bright: their improved literacy skills and their improved social-emotional skills. As many of you are aware, the FABs are the core values of Friends Academy. They serve as the foundation for our social-emotional growth in 3rd grade. And our intensive and comprehensive literacy instruction is what sets the Sally Borden program apart. For each award today, an FAB will be paired with one component of our literacy program. Without further ado, here's the first award. Ellie, you are receiving our Generous Creative Writing Connoisseur Award. This award not only represents your thoughtful generosity, but your expanding strengths in the areas of storytelling and creative writing. Ellie, you exemplify generosity. You're generous when you're sharing your time, your energy, your knowledge, your ideas, your materials. When you have something to give, you are always willing to share it selflessly, without any expectation in return. This sincere thoughtfulness does not go unnoticed. It is deeply appreciated by all of those around you. It will truly take you far in life, not just in your academic endeavors, but your friendships and personal relationships that you build. Ellie, you are also extremely generous with your storytelling. Your creative writing is contagious. Thank you for always asking if free writing is an option during different parts of the day. This inspires others to write even more. You have expanded your author's toolbox and learned to apply strategies to make your stories come alive. Thank you for all that you have shared with us this year, Ellie. You have left a large impact on our classroom, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish in 4th grade. Way to go, Ellie. Next up is Max. Max, you are receiving our Friendly Learning Ally Leader Award. This award represents both the overarching growth in the FAB of being a friend and your consistent use of our audiobook program, Learning Ally. I chose Be a Friend for you, Max, because you exemplify growth across every single FAB. As a new student, you fearlessly jumped into Friends Academy and our SVP classroom. You have soaked up every aspect of our school and classroom community. You learned more about yourself and as a learner with the help of our Sally Borden Program. Your confidence has grown just as much as your academic skills, both of which are substantial. Today, you are impressively titled our Learning Ally Leader. Your dedication has led you to listen to over 1,000 pages and over 10 hours of audiobooks throughout the year. This commitment has helped you advance your knowledge, your vocabulary, and comprehension. Thank you for genuinely enjoying being a student in our classroom, and thank you for loving our school community. I look forward to seeing all that you accomplish in 4th grade. Way to go, Max. Cam, you are receiving our Compassionate Reading Comprehension Captain Award. This award not only represents your unwavering compassion for others, but your impressive strength in reading comprehension. Cam, your compassionate nature was evident from the moment I met you. You radiate empathy and compassion to everyone, regardless of who they are and regardless of the situation, in moments of celebration and moments of challenge. You offer a helping hand, an encouraging word, or a new way to solve a problem in the kindest way possible. Please know that this unique trait is deeply appreciated by everyone around you, faculty, staff, friends, and classmates. Now for the reading comprehension. You seamlessly use your vast world of the knowledge of the world, connection-making ability, and inferencing skills to engage deeper into any story or text that you read. Sharing these insightful connections and inferences with us has helped make us all better readers. Thank you for setting the tone of compassion in our classroom. The 4th grade teachers and students will be very lucky to have you next year. Way to go, Cam. Kendall, you are receiving our Joyful Read Live Leader Award. This award not only represents your ability to seamlessly add joy into everything you do, but also your expanding strengths in the areas related to our Read Live program. Thank you for the positive energy and joyfulness that you have brought to our classroom. You have helped us all find the fun, even in the most basic daily tasks. Now for your important work in Read Live. In this one short year, you have jumped an impressive 4 different levels, all while expanding your vocabulary, honing your reading fluency, reading comprehension, and retelling ability. You put in the time and the effort. You were committed to completing your nightly homework, you blew past your goals, and you were always accepting of my challenge to push to a story that might just be a little bit more challenging. Your hard work is paid off. It is evident in your daily reading and your free writing. I can't wait to hear about your continued success in 4th grade. Way to go, Kendall. Caroline, you are receiving our Kind Typing Club Titan Award. This award not only represents your consistent, kind-hearted nature, but also the immense growth that you have made in your literacy and technology skills. Caroline, the FAB of being kind exemplifies you in every way. You are kind to everyone and everything around you. Teachers, staff, classmates, friends of all ages, your materials, our community, and even the environment. You are our Typing Club Titan because you have consistently remained on top of the leaderboard for Typing Club throughout the entire year. You are leaving 3rd grade, navigating technology more smoothly, and utilizing tools like Read and Write to expand your written expression. All of this combined together has helped build your independence and confidence across all areas. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish in 4th grade with this newfound confidence. Way to go, Caroline. Evie, you are receiving our Engaged Reading Fluency Aficionado Award. This award represents both your innate ability to be engaged in everything that you do and your monumental growth in your reading fluency. You are always engaged no matter where you are, on stage, in front of a crowd, in the classroom, or out on the field. You are always willing to participate, and you inspire others to become more involved too. Thank you for often being the first to volunteer to share your learning and your skills in front of the class, and sometimes even in front of the whole school. I admire your growing confidence and your newfound public speaking and performing abilities. Even more impressively, I admire the growth you have made this year in your reading fluency. It is truly monumental. You are applying taught decoding skills at a rapid speed. This is ultimately unlocking a new potential for you, a true love of learning through reading. I can't wait to hear about your continued success in 4th grade and beyond. Way to go, Evie. Patrick, you are receiving our Resilient Lexia Leader Award. This award not only represents your resiliency, but also your substantial progress in Lexia and your advancing phonics skills. Patrick, you exemplify resiliency. Thank you for your hard work, your tenacity, and your perseverance all year. You have accepted our school and our program with a diligent willingness to learn. With the appropriate support, you face your challenges head-on by putting forth an enormous amount of effort each day. Your resiliency has taken you many places this year, but most impressively to the top of the Lexia charts. This year, you have completed over 2,000 minutes working on Lexia. You have put in the time, and as a result, have seen a benefit of real growth in your reading ability. You take pride in your Lexia accomplishments, and this confidence has steadily spread across other areas as well. Patrick, always remember to work hard and persevere. It will serve you well in 4th grade. I can't wait to see what you are able to accomplish. Way to go, Patrick. Sai, you are receiving our Curious Written Expression Editor Award. This award not only represents your consistent and contagious curiosity towards learning, but also the inspiring growth you have made in your written expression this year, specifically in your grammar, mechanics, and conventions. Sai, your curiosity towards learning has led our class to dive even deeper than initially intended, and ultimately unlocking even more learning for everyone. Thank you for always asking hard questions, making astute observations, and sharing your new discoveries with us. Sai, the progress you have made in writing is truly impressive. You began the year by sharing basic thoughts in your writing. Now you're crafting thoughtful writing pieces that include an expanded vocabulary, a clear structure, and much more detail to make your stories come alive. Even more impressively, you do so with a keen eye for the small stuff: neat handwriting, correct capitalization, spelling, and punctuation. I deeply appreciate the time that you take to make sure each piece of writing has these, whether it's a structured writing piece, your read live retell, or even your weekend news. I am excited to see where your curiosity takes you next year in 4th grade. Way to go, Sai. Thank Thank you so much, third grade. One more round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. We had a wonderful year in fourth grade, and this group humored me, dare I say they enjoyed, my school-appropriate memes from the television show The Office. And the fact that, according to them, I had a song for everything. I think it started with Ice Ice Baby before we had that one snow day. It wasn't all laughter and songs in our room. There was plenty of notable academic growth and of equal importance, social growth as well. For the past few years, the awards in fourth grade have been National Park themed in honor of our end of the year projects. This year I decided to go back to the original fourth grade theme, which gives a nod to the class making their way around the USA region by region. All students were faced with the task of beating their scores of locating all 50 states from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. Today's awards may be taken from a state's official motto, a mantra from a state license plate, or a state symbol. Nicholas Shagnon, the Florida Award. Everyone knows that the Sunshine State is another name for Florida. I cannot think of a more sunshiny, happy person than you, Nikki. You manage to keep up your cheerfulness during all subjects. This is obvious whether you're finding missing numerators or denominators for equivalent fractions, or if you're writing a research paper on Denali National Park. Nikki, you fulfill your academic responsibilities with dedication and a love of learning. We're so fortunate you joined our group this year, and you are wished all the best in fifth grade. Griffin Gillis, the Maine Award. Most people think of the nickname Vacation Land when they think of Maine. Not many people know the official motto of the state is the Latin word, meaning, I lead. To me, that seems very appropriate for you, Griffin. Mrs. M loves to remind you that you have a natural leadership quality and you can use your power for good. It's evident when you try your hardest to beat your score on Read Live, and you've also been known to practice with other classmates to help encourage them to beat their score as well. Other teachers comment on your politeness. You're always the first to say thank you when a door is being held. I wish you all the best in fifth grade, Griffin. Emerson Grammer, the Oklahoma Award. Emerson, I know that you hold a special place in your heart for Oklahoma. It was one of the first things you showed me, your third grade project. But you might not have known that their motto is, work conquers all. You certainly conquered many obstacles this year with your hard work. Most notable is your progress with your writing. Do you remember that comparison between your beginning of the year writing sample to the middle of the year? Don't forget the extra time and effort you put into strengthening your math skills. I'm confident, Emerson, that you're going to hit the ground running in fifth grade with the same stamina with which you're leaving fourth grade. Callan Landreth, the Alaska Award. The motto of Alaska is North to the Future. Callan, whether it be to the north, south, east, or west, your teachers and your parents look to your future with optimism and pride because of the reading progress you're making. Consistently hardworking, never complaining, that's the Callan who Mrs. M and I love to work with. You're a helpful and caring citizen, always looking for ways to assist others with your acts of kindness. I'm going to miss your laughter and your ability to then quickly refocus and get back to work. I know that your hard work attitude will carry you far into fifth grade and beyond. Teddy Larissa, the California Award. Eureka, or I found it, is the motto of California. Teddy, you certainly found the strategies you were looking for in SVP. This year especially, it's as if you found a key to help unlock your reading skills. Your insightful comments when we read New Kid were spot on. Eureka is also the term that Greek mathematician Archimedes is known for saying, appropriate due to the way you challenge yourself with prodigy math outside of school. Teddy, your creative mind and outside-the-box thinking will serve you well in the future. Gray Mahoney, the Colorado Award. Gray, Colorado is known for the magnificent scenery of mountains, rivers, and plains. We can draw a parallel to you as well, as you bring so much to our classroom. Your memory for scheduled details, your ability to think ahead and anticipate any questions that your classmates might have about a change, it's a gift. The pride you have in your work is inspiring, whether it be perfecting your Southern State postcard or working to complete more math facts than you did the day before. Gray, your natural curiosity will bring you far next year and beyond. Addison Naidu, the New York Award. When you think of New York, you think of the hustle and bustle of city life. You might not know that the motto of the state is ever upward. Addie, you possess this mentality when being presented with academic challenges. You push yourself to do your best with spelling dictation and editing your writing for punctuation and capital letters. You impressively went above and beyond with your long division work too. This ever upward mentality will serve you well next year. Jack Pyers, the Massachusetts Award. On the bottom of the Massachusetts state license plate are the words, "The Spirit of America." If there's ever someone worthy of this award, it's certainly you, Jack. Who can forget the rickroll that you had for the entire school on Blue and Gray Day? Your classmates have loved to see your sense of humor shine this year, and they're not the only ones. Adults around friends feel the same way. This year, your focus and drive made you a partner in the learning process, completing your work and being proud of it. Jack, keep this spirit with you in 5th grade, and I know you will succeed. Thank you.
In 5th grade this year, we have focused on being researchers, poets, documentary creators, readers who learn from our characters, and many other things. One of the highlights of this year was reading the book Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. The main character in this book, Melody, has cerebral palsy. While reading this book, we talked about how people see Melody in a wheelchair, unable to talk, walk, or control how her body moves. People only saw the outside, but not the inside of Melody, and how she is an intelligent and caring girl. We talked about how each of us is an iceberg, where everyone can see what is above the water, but not below the surface. Each of us is unique and different, and we don't always let each other see what is beneath that surface. This year, I have had the pleasure of getting to know each of you and started to see what is beneath the surface, just like Melody's classmates did. Thank you for sharing what people don't always see. Hannah Beauregard. Hannah, your friends see you as a great friend with a fun spirit that creates beautiful artwork. We all know that you are an animal lover with many pets. What people may not see under your iceberg is that you are sensitive and can see when things are not right. You are a hard worker that loves to create fictional stories with amazing details and characters. You are a magical melody maker. Thank you for being a valued member of this class. Henry Cronin. Henry, as a new member of the 5th grade class, you quickly became an appreciated and welcome presence in this grade. Your friends see you as an athletic leader, monkey-loving, funny, and math-minded. What some of your friends may not see under your iceberg is the thoughtful friend that wants to help others and how you will quietly lawyer for what you feel is right. Your negotiation skills are getting better every day. We have seen you grow as a reader and writer this year and can't wait to see how you continue to grow. Thank you for becoming a valued member of this class. Kenneth Enos. Kenneth, you are a kind and curious learner. Your friends see someone that seeks out answers to tough questions, someone that protects his friends, and loves the outdoors. What some of your friends may not see under your iceberg is the person that deeply cares about equity among friends and classmates. You listen to others when they share and try to help them when you can. Something most people don't see is how you're always willing to try something new, even if it isn't in your comfort zone. Thank you for welcoming our new friends and continuing to share with us all this year. Brendan Morley. Brendan, you love to make everyone laugh with your puns. Each morning I really appreciate your sophisticated sense of humor. Your friends see you as the class baker and someone who loves to help others. What some of your friends may not see under your iceberg is the warm, caring, and protective side you have. Not everyone has seen how you have transformed into a thoughtful writer and flexible thinker this year. Thank you for welcoming our new friends and continuing to share with us all this year. Estelle Perrine. Estelle, you're a kind and caring friend to your classmates, always willing to offer support and help to others. Your friends know you as the skier, presentation creator, and artistic innovator. What others do not see is the quiet, hard worker you are. You fight for kindness in others and expect others to return the kindness you show. Estelle, you are a wonderful host to classroom visitors, always making them feel welcome. You have a great sense of humor and love to share about your family and your adventures. Thank you for welcoming our new friends and continuing to share with us all year. Samuel Welchman. Sam, you were new this year, and when your friends see you, they see the athletic, high energy, and competitive engagement on the field. They see the humor you bring to any situation. Your friends also see your knowledge that you share. What your friends may not see is how engaged you can be in making new friendships, learning, and completing projects. You also show engagement with your thoughtful questions and participation in class. No matter the subject, as a good friend, you are always willing to help others when they may not understand or struggle with something. You love to share your knowledge with your classmates and strive to learn, especially about history and the world. More than anything, most people don't know how you will fight for what is right and true. Thank you for becoming a valued member of this class.
One more round of applause.
Good morning. This is our 6th grade SVP class. And transitioning to middle school can appear to many to be a mountain taller than Olympus. Yet this class of students showed up every day to climb it. They set and reached goals along the way, which helped them find joy in both the journey and the destination. For these students, 6th grade has been a year of challenge, discovery, and adventure that exists as a chapter in the larger story of their life. We begin 6th grade by discussing how cultures across the world use stars to pass down their stories. The themes of many of those star stories embody the heroic qualities of this 6th grade class. Doug Belcher. Determination and helpfulness are the qualities represented by the bull constellation Taurus. They are also the qualities that you have embodied this year. You made it your mission to understand every topic we discussed this year and worked tirelessly to complete every project the best you could. Not only did you put forth your best effort, you always tried to encourage others to do so as well. I know that your classmates always appreciated your help, and that willingness to lift others up has made you a joy to work with this year. Tori Darning. The constellation Apis is also known as the bird of paradise. These colorful birds are symbols of joy and keeping a positive perspective. Starting middle school is a challenge in itself, but starting middle school in a new school can be particularly difficult. However, from your first day, you've tried your best to bring brightness and fun to our class. Even challenges like PEMDAS didn't dim your shine, and you powered through with a positive spirit. I hope you continue to create moments of joyful learning as you move through the rest of your middle school years. fabled ship Argo is divided into 3 constellations. Among those is Vela, the sail. Just like a sail propels a ship forward, your curious spirit and love for knowledge propelled our class forward this year. Your questions and fun facts added so much depth to our discussions, which led us towards insightful connections and discovery. You were a consistent participant in class no matter the subject, which inspired others to do the same. Your commitment to mastering new information and putting your best effort into learning will continue to propel you forward through the rest of your journey in your education. Rosie Larissa. The constellation Grus contains not only stars, but a number of galaxies in its depths. This constellation is fittingly represented by the crane, which stands as a symbol of openness and aspiration. This year, you have embodied this spirit through opening yourself up to new challenges, and as a result, you have found amazing success. You have continued to set goals for yourself with the firm belief that you could not only meet them, but move beyond them. Your willingness to take the time to make sure your work is accurate and you understand fully will help you continue to build your confidence and lead to greater and greater successes. Bobby Morley. Representing creation and expression, the constellation known as Sculptor embodies how you have embraced this year. During every class discussion, you provide new perspectives through careful questioning of motivations and hypothetical scenarios. Your ability to generate ideas and dig deep into finding new perspectives shows the strength of your critical thinking skills. Your excitement and dedication to your writing shines through in your work, and I can't wait to read Crossover X when you're finished. I hope you continue to find joy in creating, and I look forward to seeing what other ideas you come up with. Chase Powers. The constellation Aquila stands for leadership, strength, and insight. It is represented by the eagle thought to carry lightning bolts to Zeus atop Mount Olympus. Like the eagle, you are capable of soaring to great heights as well as inspiring others to do the same. In class, your insights can be like lightning bolts, bringing renewed energy to our discussions. Recognizing connections between ideas takes an understanding of nuance that reveals what a deep thinker you can be. Continuing to hone your critical thinking skills will help you keep soaring to greater heights. Landon Smith. One of the more well-known constellations, Perseus stands in the northern sky. As a hero, he never shies away from a challenge, and you have done the same this year. You consistently put your best effort into completing your work, even when the tasks seem difficult. You never hesitated to share your ideas with the class, and were always the first hand raised to walk us through a problem. Slaying monsters and solving math problems both take courage, and this year you've shown that you have an abundance. As the work gets tougher, I have no doubt that you'll rise to the challenge again and again. Watson. The dolphin constellation, Delphinus, can be seen sparkling in the sky during the middle of summer. In mythology, dolphins represent both teamwork and transformation. You have embodied both this year. Throughout our time together, you have risen to the demands of middle school and transformed into a student willing to ask questions and advocate for her needs. This transformation is in part due to your willingness to embrace the spirit of collaboration and work successfully alongside your peers. Your understanding that many hands make light work will help you continue to transform in the years to come. One more round of applause for the sixth grade class.
Seventh grade is a hard transition. Being caught in the middle of both the excitement of entering middle school and the bittersweetness of its ending leaves seventh graders with a sense of, where am I? And although we had some mountains to climb this year, we have reached the peak and the view is amazing. Watching each of these students grow both mentally and physically has been astounding, and and I am so glad that my first year at Friends Academy was with this bright and caring group of children. This year, our humanities class embarked on an exciting journey of cultural exploration, diving into the depths of world history, all the way from Mesopotamia to present-day South Africa. Along the way, we studied geography and history, read a few novels, and took some side streets to explore different cultures around the world. In our quest for understanding, we discovered that learning about cultures and history is similar to enjoying a street food delicacy. Today, for our ceremony, I will relate our 7th grade students to a popular street food around the world. Ava. Just like the iconic Japanese cuisine sushi, you captivate others with everything you have to offer. Your soft-spoken demeanor reflects the elegance and simplicity of a perfectly crafted sushi roll. And although sushi appears to be crafted easily, there's immense practice and patience that goes into it. You also have a way of working so hard in all that you do and making it look effortless. Your diligence and attention to detail in all of your work this year reflects the careful precision and attention to detail found in the art of sushi making. And watching you light up when you find out there is extra time to read or write your own story has been relatable to the excitement of watching a sushi roll being crafted right in front of you. Ava, your kindness and inclusivity has created an inviting atmosphere in our room, much like the warm hospitality of a sushi chef. And I'm excited to see all of your hard work pay off as you accomplish your dreams in 8th grade and beyond. Caleb, you embody the lively essence of street tacos. Like these flavorful delights, you exude many of the qualities you find in any street taco experience. Much like the welcoming ambiance of a taco truck, you entered your first year at Friends Academy with a confidence and warm nature that was both inviting and inclusive. Your quick wit and sense of humor has brought laughter and joy to those around you, just as the zesty flavors and playful toppings of tacos elevate the dish. With your bright and vibrant personality, you light up any gathering, adding a dash of excitement, just like the colorful salsas and garnishes that decorate a delicious taco. Caleb, your everlasting ability to get your work done very quickly this year mirrors the fast-paced nature of street food culture, always on the go and ready to embrace new experiences. I'm excited to cheer you on as you go on to your next adventure in 8th grade. Jake, you embody the heartwarming essence of a steaming bowl of ramen. Just like this comforting Japanese dish, you radiate a home-like feel that brings people together in our classroom. Your genuine kindness and sweet nature are similar to the rich and flavorful ramen broth that warms the soul. Your dedication and hard work on class assignments reflects the thoughtful preparation of each ingredient in a ramen bowl, resulting in a harmonious and satisfying experience. And just as a street food vendor provides an unforgettable experience for their customers while juggling many other demands, you were able to achieve success with many endeavors of your own this year. You reached your goal of trialing FA Math, played on multiple sports teams, joined Ethics Bowl, and had a lead role in the school play, a feat that did not go unnoticed. Jake, your undeniable charm adds a dash of charisma, making you as inviting as a perfect bowl of ramen, and I look forward to seeing you knock it out of the park next year in 8th grade. One of the most beloved Latin American street foods is the arepa. Just like the arepa's quirky shape and texture, you, Leo, exude a unique charm that sets you apart. Your tough exterior, much like the crispy outer layer of the arepa, envelopes a warm and inclusive nature that has been a delight to witness in the classroom this year. Your intelligence and leadership shines through in each lesson and activity, and you never back down from a challenge, adding depth and curiosity to our many classroom discussions, much like the flavorful fillings inside of the arepa. Just as the arepa brings joy to the taste buds, your humor injects laughter and lightness into any situation, whether it's creating an SBP quote book or diffusing a tense moment. With you around, Leo, there's never a dull moment, and everyone is drawn to your magnetic personality. I can't wait to watch you tackle 8th grade next year and see all that you accomplish. Exceptional individual who captivates the essence of a banh mi sandwich. Your inquisitive nature matches the way the layers of flavors and and textures are found within a banh mi, always seeking to explore and understand the world around you. Your witty humor has added a delightful twist to many conversations, much like the unexpected combinations of ingredients in a banh mi sandwich. With your intelligence, Duncan, you have engaged in insightful discussions, always offering a respectful way for others to consider both perspectives, just like street food's ability to bring people together across cultures and backgrounds. And of course, your friendly demeanor has created a welcoming atmosphere within our classroom this year, much like the open-hearted hospitality found at a banh mi stall. Watching your confidence and skills grow in your writing this year has been nothing short of amazing, Duncan, and I look forward to watching you continue to flourish as you take on 8th grade next year. Heather, you embody a delightful blend of characteristics that mirror a delectable crepe. Just like the perfectly folded layers of a crepe harbor a sweet or sometimes savory filling, your fun and gentle nature makes you a beloved friend to many. Your humor adds a delightful twist to every situation, bringing a burst of joy and laughter to your classmates and teachers. And while you came into your first year at Friends a bit slow to warm up, like the gradual cooking process of a crepe, your true personality started to shine through in no time. Your exceptional attention to detail in your writing this year has reflected the precise and meticulous preparation of a well-crafted crepe. And with your bright and radiant spirit, you are like the vibrant toppings, captivating everyone around you with your positive energy. It has been a pleasure watching you flourish here at Friends Academy this year, and I will continue to cheer you on as you reach for the stars and beyond in 8th grade. You encompass the delightful qualities of a delectable churro. Just as this delicious treat brings warmth and comfort, you exude a genuine and welcoming nature that makes others feel comfortable and at ease around you. The churro is often elongated in length, allowing for sharing with others. And whether it was giving support to others in the classroom or running a school-wide bake sale to raise money for the middle school, your generosity has fostered a true sense of community this year. Your bold spirit mirrors the scrumptious blend of flavors and textures that make the churro an unforgettable experience. And with your boundless energy, you infuse every moment with enthusiasm and joy. Much like the sugary coating that envelopes a churro, you sprinkle sweetness wherever you go, and your ability to connect with and understand others is similar to the many different sauces that pair well with churros. Your intelligence shines through in your ability to adapt and innovate in any situation, and watching you grow and build your confidence this year is parallel to the feeling of being next in line to get your long-awaited treat. It sure has been rewarding to witness, and I look forward to seeing you burn brighter than the sun in 8th grade. Pratik. Just like a sizzling plate of pad thai, you exude an enticing combination of flavors that captivates those around you. With your sharp wit and quick thinking, you effortlessly bring laughter and joy to every interaction, leaving a lasting impression on anyone you encounter. Your delightful and energetic personality mirrors the balance of sweet, sour, and spicy flavors that you often find in a pad thai dish, invigorating those in your presence. And just like a plate of pad thai noodles, you embody the warmth that allows others to feel most comfortable around you. Watching your confidence grow in math this year has been nothing short of amazing. You have persevered even when challenges arose and forged your own unique path, just as pad thai has evolved and adapted over time. Your boundless energy and curiosity mirror the adventurous and bold nature of street food culture, making you a great companion to have on any adventure. And I'm so excited to see where your journey takes you as you enter 8th grade. Thank you, 7th grade.
One more round of applause for all of our students. Congratulations again, students. And now we will hear from our 8th graders. This amazing group of students wrote their own essays about lessons they've learned about themselves over their years at Friends Academy. You are in for a treat as you listen to these students share their unique stories and perspectives. Please join me in welcoming Emma Farland to the stage.
The feeling of being on the
competition is like a shaky feeling. Sometimes it feels like a test, like if I do it and mess up, I can't redo it. When it comes down to competition, it can be a lot of pressure. It all starts with hours of practice and ends up with 2 minutes on the mat. When I think back at my first competition, earlier in 2023, I feel as though it was the most pressure because it was my first competition of the season, so it decides if we move on. When we first got to the competition, we had to go through stations to get ready to go on the mat. Each station was different. And the first one was stretching, then there was stumbling, next was stunting, then the last one was doing the full routine. After that, you're waiting to go on the mat, which is the most nerve-wracking part because you're sitting there watching another team perform. Then you hear the announcer call your team. Just hearing that makes me shake. Once you get on the mat, you get in your position. Someone on your team calls set ready, and that tells you to begin. Then you begin with your routine. When we began with our routine, we had our cheer, and then the music began. The cheer went fine until our music began, and then we had our first stop. We fell. After our performance, I felt good about myself and how I performed, until I heard one of my teammates stunt fell. Then my heart dropped. Even though we did our best, we lost, and we didn't get the result we wanted. Things happen, and we can't go back and change it. But this doesn't only happen in cheer. It happens at school too. Like when I had my quiz. I did it, and I didn't get the result I wanted. I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. But I keep trying. I get back on the mat, I keep practicing, studying, learning, and every time I try, I do a little bit better. This year we qualified for globals in New Jersey, and I took the quiz again, and I got a better grade. I have learned a lot of lessons over time, but the most important thing I have learned is that it is okay to get things wrong, as long as you never give up.
Next, we have Dylan Shagnon.
My name is Dylan, and I've been at Friends for 4 years, and I've loved every part of it. When I first started to go to the school, I thought I wouldn't fit in, but there was a class of 8 and had people with similar problems with me, so I started to settle in. The challenge that I had was fitting in with the other people because of how different I acted. When I first went to school, I thought I would have gotten made fun of because I did in my other school for how I acted. But when I walked in, I saw that there were other people just like me who had challenges, making me think that I wasn't alone. I went to a school that didn't treat me like other kids because they didn't know how to treat me, and I fell back on a lot of work. I got bullied because of how different I acted, so I started to only talk to 2 of my close friends out of the 30 of my classmates. I felt lonely, and one of my friends who I thought was nice started bullying me. So I only had one real friend growing up, and because I was going to different schools, I got scared. I was scared to go to a different school because I wasn't good at socializing, and I thought that what happened in my old school would happen in the one I was going to. But when I got into the new school I was going to, at Friends Academy, I made a lot of new friends and had a lot of fun learning new things with my classmates. I had the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year were the same. Go to class, study, talk with friends, and hang out. My challenge of not fitting in is no longer a challenge for me anymore because other people can relate to me, and because of that, I feel normal in school. Now I am excited to go to school each day. I'm excited to talk to new people and make new friends. I don't really know how I feel about going into high school, but I think I'm going to be more prepared for the change this time.
Kelly King.
Hi guys. Okay, so having autism is really odd. I can't put it into words except I'll try. Autism is like a roller coaster. There are too many ups, downs, and loop-de-loops. I'm pushing through and yet it's holding me back. Having autism is a gift, not a curse.
I don't like how people never celebrate it. Autism is a spectrum. Some people have it more than others, and some have it less, like me. I think it should be accepted and celebrated. I want all people with autism to know that they are safe and loved by everyone. I have never seen a film or read a book when the main character has autism, and I think that should change. Having autism kind of is like being in the shadows. It's kind of like I'm being pushed away from society almost. Kind of like if you have a ton of circles, which are the other kids, and a hexagon, which is me. And the circles don't want to hang out with the hexagon only because she fits differently. The hexagon is now sad because no one wants to hang out with her, except she does have some friends who do accept her for who she is. The hexagon has some circle friends, except still not all circles accept her. She loves her circle friends, and when the hexagon doesn't fit, she finds her circle friends to help her self-confidence. When the hexagon was young, the circles would pick on her for being a slow runner. And PE has always been hard for her, and the bullying just made it worse. That trauma still haunts her till this day. She didn't want to challenge herself because she was scared that the circles would make fun of her. She was scared to push herself to her full potential. She was scared to mess up. The hexagon used to be scared of sleepaway camps, and her mom and dad, which are back there, had her go to one last summer. She was scared for the first few days, except she made some friends who were always there for her. She knew she was going to be safe. The hexagon loved the counselors too. They supported her and gave her the best hugs. She's going again this summer, even though she's nervous, except also very excited. Over the years, the hexagon has become super confident and sure of herself. She's got a lot of fans. Even though not all circles accept her, that's okay. You don't need to fit other people's standards. It's okay to just be yourself. What I've learned about myself and autism is that things are going to be challenging, except I just need to remember it's okay to be myself.
And now we will hear from AJ Pickering.
I've been playing sports for all my life, but my favorite sport is soccer. When I was in 4th grade, I broke my heel on my right foot, so I had to be in a cast for 6 weeks and a boot for 6 weeks. During that time, I had to adapt to not being able to use my right foot. I also have to do this when I am in school because of dyslexia. I learn differently and I had to change how I work. I broke my heel during the winter, so I didn't miss anything that had to do with soccer, but I missed skiing and basketball. When I stopped wearing a boot or a cast on my right foot, it was skinny and weak because it was not moving for a while. So when the soccer season started, it was very difficult to play because my foot was so weak. So I had to train my foot to get it stronger. It took almost the entire season to repair my heel and be able to play how I could play before. At school, reading and spelling were hard for me because of dyslexia. To improve those skills, I practiced reading and writing in my classes and in literacy. Over time, I was able to read faster and more fluently. Just like when I broke my heel, I had to practice to get better. I also learned a big lesson about myself because I hurt my foot a year and a half before I told my mom. Then I was put in a cast and a boot, so if I told her when it originally started hurting me, then I wouldn't have had to miss a lot of sports. But I didn't want to have to sit out of any games, so I didn't tell her. Even when she asked why I was limping, I always told my parents that I was fine. I learned that if I'm even ever hurt in any sport or don't know how to do something in school, to always ask for help, not only in sports but also in school, and not to wait because the problem could always get worse. Thank you.
Next up is Matthew Haliak.
Transferring from SPP science to regular science was a struggle at first because it was a big change. The classes were a lot bigger and I had to keep organized with my work and pay more attention. Another thing that was a change was we had lab groups. I had to participate in a small group with other kids, which is not my favorite thing to do. We had to write our lab procedures in our notebooks and answer questions from our lab textbooks based on our lab. This was tricky for me because I can tend to get distracted easily. So if I were to walk away, I would miss a question or part in our lab. It was hard for me to constantly communicate with my lab partners because I always felt like I asked them too many questions about things in lab that I should be able to understand myself. Something that was really positive and helped was having Dr. Diaz as my advisor, so if I needed help and guidance, I could rely on her, but I also tried my best to give my full effort when having work before I asked. I think I got better at this year. I realized one of the strategies I need to use is to make sure I understand the assignment before I start it. When I tried thinking of ideas now, I try to make sure my group can hear me. I've also realized that I can be helpful when I try to because I have useful ideas to contribute. That's it.
Next is Seamus Keller.
Good morning. My name is Seamus Keller, and I'm a tall human being. But I have some challenges too. Something that is challenging for me was the first time I played national level baseball in July 2022. I was trying as hard as I could to qualify for this. When I showed up there were a lot of kids who I thought were older than me, but I was surprised that they were my age. So me being only 6'4" at the time was a little nervous and a little intimidated. The first time I remember being nervous and having a very bad stomach cramp, but when I got to the field I was fine. At the showcase I did alright, but I knew I could have done better. Sometimes school can feel that way too. Staying consistent with my work can help me be able to do my schoolwork better in the future. Language arts is probably one of my least favorite subjects, and it isn't interesting to me. I can get distracted and make other people distracted, which is challenging for me and for them. I like learning about the states and remembering all that stuff, and I don't mind flashcards because I look at it like a competitive game. I learn more this way because it helps me want to remember what's on the other side of the card. This is the same in life. If you want to know what's on the other half, then you have to put in the work and practice. That goes in life. Like, if I want to get into Major League Baseballs, then I have to put in the work, just like working on the flashcards and getting a little better each time. Last September, I went back to Florida with a team from Mass, and we played really good competitive, and sadly went 0-4. After that, something in my mind changed in the game, but also in life. I started taking a lot more things seriously, but also have as much fun as possible at the same time. I know how much potential I have, but I also know how much I need to work. That's the main thing I've learned, that you have to work hard now to get the results later. Thank you, everyone.
And Lily Brown.
One challenge that I had to overcome is when I switched from SPP math class to the FA Algebra 1 class. So I was in SPP math class all through 7th grade, and my family and teachers found that everything that was being taught was way too easy for me. So I went through the whole year doing math that was way too easy for me, but I didn't realize everything was too easy. I just thought I was a genius. So school got out, and I was in the car with my mom, and she said, "You're going to have to do tutoring over the summer." I was not thrilled. I was going to have to do math tutoring. Then during the summer, I was meeting every week with Mr. Lovato so I could catch up in the FA math class. And it helped that I was caught up, but it was different. The homework was different. I was used to a classroom where there were 8 kids at most. I was very confident, but over time my confidence changed into fear because I felt behind. It was difficult. I wasn't getting things easily as I did in the SPP math class. So I pushed myself hard, and at some points I would cry because I didn't understand what was happening, or I would make jokes to hide the fact that I was struggling. One of my classmates called math easy, and I said, "No, math is like a poison dart frog, beautiful but deadly." One day we had a test, but I was not confident about taking the test, so Mr. Lovato made a separate test for me. And I took my time and I reviewed it, then I submitted it, and I failed. Poor Mr. Mitchell had to stay with me while I bawled my eyes out because I did so poorly. And at the end of the day, I was talking with Mr. Lovato, and that's when I realized I needed help. I started going to my teachers for help and started getting so much better to the point as when Mr. Lovato would teach something, it would just click. Now I'm beginning to understand what is being taught, but I was still being challenged because I'm at a level that is appropriate for me. In the end, I learned that it's okay to ask for help and that you don't have to struggle in silence. Thank you.
And last but not least is Tess Hamilton.
Overcoming things has never been hard for me. I know that sounds a bit braggy, but it's not meant to be that way.
My way of going through things is just doing them no matter what. There might be easier ways, but this is the way I've come to know. This method helped me through school when I needed special support. As most people here probably know, it is hard to need help. It is hard not understanding things in classes. And most of all, it is hard feeling like everyone else knows except for you. My way of going through the motions brought me here. I would study for spelling tests for hours at my old school. I knew I would never get a perfect score, but I would still study really hard. I had no idea there were easier ways to do spelling that didn't require you needing to remember a word. I treated school as a sport. Work super hard and get better. I learned that in sports, pushing yourself to the limits works, but in school, it is okay to ask for help. I am lucky to be able to be here talking to you all. Being here, I spent time learning how to look at things differently. I spent time learning how to learn better and look at things differently. We are fortunate that we are able to use these skills every day. I realize I'm talking to you all, but I'm really talking to the students who are in this program. The students here that have made it through a year of lots of brain pain and have grown a lot through the year. I am leaving here after 4 years, and I've learned and grown. This experience taught me that school can be fun and lead to a bright future. You can ask for help here. You can make mistakes here and no one will tease you. I learned that in FA, you grow as a person and a learner. You are all growing and probably don't even know it. I have found that working hard does pay off. I am happy to be leaving here, taking the tools I have learned and putting them to work. Thank you.
One more round of applause for those amazing 8th graders. So 8th graders, please rise and join us on stage to receive your certificates.
Good morning. Make another adjustment. Lily Bryant. Seamus Keller. Matthew Howitt. AJ Pickering. Loie King. Dylan Shagnon. Emma Farland. Tess Hamilton.
Congratulations, 8th graders.
So congratulations, 8th graders. You make us so proud, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish in high school and beyond. One more round of applause. Well done to all the students. Your hard work, kindness, and incredible strengths impress me every day. You all should feel very proud about the year that you have had. As we conclude this morning, I invite you to partake in some light refreshments prepared by Chef Chris. Families, please find your child and enjoy this special celebration. Students should then reunite with their teachers and return to their classrooms. Thank you again, everyone. Enjoy the summer.